I released this video last week bemoaning some planned changes to ZwiftPower, mostly hiding height and weight data on the platform. My general take was that making those metrics a secret wouldn't actually curb any bullying on the platform and might actually increase it because of an increased perception of weight and height doping and an inability to prove otherwise. I was worried that that move might erode the already sort of tenuous trust among the Zwift Racing community. So here's a big update. They're not doing it. At least not right now. And in addition to not hiding height and weight, they've slipped in a few other measures, and overall I like what I see. So I expected to get a lot more negative feedback on that video, as eating and weight related issues in cycling are very real and very serious topics. But overwhelmingly, it seems like most Zwift racers agreed that hiding height and weight on ZwiftPower was really hurting more than it was helping. Most of the negative feedback I got went something like, "Who cares? E-racing isn't perfect, so why even try?" First off, I care, and I assume most people who are watching this channel also care. And second, nothing is ever perfect, especially not e-racing, but I would rather move in a direction that's more legit and more respectable and keep making progress. You and I will never be Matthew Vanderpool. Should we stop cycling? Should we stop training? I'm gonna keep training, keep chipping away at it and making incremental progress rather than just give up because I'm not perfect. The same basic logic applies. Speaking of legitimacy and seriousness of online racing, Zwift also announced a partnership with the International Olympic Committee to hold a sort of Olympic adjacent esport competition with Zwift as the cycling platform. I'm hoping this announcement made Zwift realize they can't let the racing experience be a joke and a cheating free-for-all for the 99.9% of people on the platform that are racing below the Premier League. If they want to be taken serious as a sport, even an e-sport, by a body like the Olympic Committee, they're going to need a higher degree of respect within their own community at least. So Zwift isn't hiding height and weight. What are they doing? A couple potentially positive things caught my eye here on the official forum post about it. The first one is, we have agreed to pause this change while we develop tools that deliver greater transparency to Zwift Racing. What could that be? An algorithm? A piece of hardware? Who knows? But the promise of making something rather than hiding what's already there seems like a step forward rather than a step backwards to me, and I generally like it. They're also going to be adding some sort of new reporting feature, which honestly is long overdue. Said it in my last video, still think reporting feature, home run. Zwift will also still be hiding height and weight data on the Zwift web application and the Zwift companion app by default. Good. If you aren't racing, there's really no need to share your height and weight with all of us. You're only cheating yourself. I don't care if you want to zoom around while you do your intervals, have at it. They've also made a couple of changes to ZwiftPower itself. The first one is that you have to log in to see ZwiftPower at all now, which is probably a good thing. I don't know why anyone who's not on ZwiftPower would need to see other people's ZwiftPower data. So you guys are going to have to sign in to see all of my sweet, sweet power data. The final change, and maybe the most important one, I'm just going to read some of this verbatim. We may sanction riders based on their performance information and other metrics. Riders who are found to have intentionally violated the terms of ZwiftPower services will be disqualified and excluded from results and not eligible for points or prizes associated with those results. We may also publish and maintain a list of disqualified riders. So it sounds like they're trying to at least create a mechanism by which some enforcement could happen, which is good. There needs to be some official word on who is and is not allowed to race and why. At this point, unless you catch a sanction from your governing body like Cameron Jeffers did, and if you're willing to endure the naming and shaming that goes on in the community, you're pretty much good to race, especially at a sub-Premier League level. There have been several riders caught for various things that have just sort of laid low for a while and then come back. I know this isn't what anyone expected from me, but generally, good job, Zwift. So one small caveat on this one. A lot of this stuff exists only in theory right now, and the devil is kind of in the details. But for the first time, they're saying all the right things and listening to the community and responding accordingly. So we will see. Hey, I made a whole video without mentioning any other platforms.